And so I just want to thank you for spending time. I know you're going to be over here for a couple of days, and maybe we'll be surprising us on New Year's Eve. That'll be fine.
Oh, thank you.
And it's wonderful seeing you and Sarah and your whole group. Very talented group. We've done very good work together, and it'll continue. So thank you very much, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right. He out of breath?
Yeah,
it sounds like it. Yeah, but anyway, let's see.
I have to say that, in addition to what I said, that we've never had a friend, even close, a friend, as President Trump in the White House.
Wow.
I think he's been extraordinary in his friendship and his support for Israel. His principled positions.
They have matching clothes.
His willingness to just cut through and get to the essence of things.
That's cute.
And I don't say that as a compliment. I just mean it. People have heard me say that behind your back, Mr. President, many times. But I want to say something else. I think we have a partnership, if I can quote you, second to none. I think it's allowed us to do enormous things. You know, people said there was a different conception at one time, which means that America can advance its interest in the Middle East if it opens a lot of daylight between it and Israel.
Oh.
And President Trump has done the exact opposite. He's achieved remarkable things in the Middle East.
Yes.
Because we work together. We talk about our ideas. Sometimes we have different ideas, but we work it out. And most of the time we see eye to eye. But it's been a remarkable experience, and this was a very, very productive meeting. And may I say, a very good lunch. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship.
Thank you very much, baby.
And thank you for your support. It's meant from the heart.
Thank you.
Trump must have really done something good for him.
He's been a wartime prime minister, and we were...
I wonder what Trump said he'd do.
He was a wartime
They're going to kiss? Yeah, bro, this is kind of gay.
Israel, if you think about it. But
are they gay?
Israel was a big factor, and we're with you, and we'll continue to be with you, and a lot of good things are happening in the Middle East. We have peace in the Middle East, and we're going to try and keep it that way. I think we will be very successful in keeping it that way. And you've been a great friend, and I've been a great friend to you and to Israel, and it's been my honor. And the award that I was given was really surprising and very much appreciated.
Well, President Trump has broken so many conventions to the surprise of people, and then they figure out, oh, well, maybe, he was right after all. So we decided to break a convention too, or create a new one.
Which one? The
That
Geneva
is to
Convention?
award the Israel Prize, which in almost our 80 years, we've never awarded it to a non-Israeli. And we're going to award it this year to President Trump. This was announced formally over lunch by our Minister of Education, who's responsible for the Israel Prize.
Yeah.
It's going to be awarded to President Donald J. Trump, who has tremendous contributions
he's getting
to
the Israel Prize?
and the Jewish people.
Wow.
I think it's such a fitting thing, and it would honor us, obviously, Mr. President, if you could visit Israel in that occasion on our Independence Day.
They're calling him the top goy?
But I have to say that this reflects the overwhelming sentiment of Israelis across the spectrum. They appreciate what you've done to help Israel and to help our common battle against the terrorists and those who would destroy our civilization. So
I heard about them.
Again, that's an expression of thanks and appreciation.
Thank you, baby, very much. That really is a great honor. Any questions, please? We'll go pretty quickly because pretty much we agree on most of the things, and you would know what most of those things are. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to know if you and the Prime Minister talked about having Israel pull back its troops before Hamas fully disarms. I know that's been an issue. Did you push for that today?
Well, we talked about Hamas, and we talked about disarmament. And
what about
they're going to be given a very short period of time to disarm.
Or what?
And we'll see how that works out. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be in charge of that from our side. But if they don't disarm, as they agreed to do, they agreed to it, and then they'll be held to pay for them. And we don't want that. We're not looking for that. But they have to disarm within a fairly short period of time.
Is Israel withdrawing its forces?
Is
Well,
Israel
that's a
gonna
separate
withdraw?
subject.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. President, did you have a message for the Prime Minister about the West Bank? And are you at all concerned that settler violence, Israeli settler violence, could be undermining the peace plan?
Well, we have had a discussion, big discussion, for a long time on the West Bank, and I wouldn't say we agree on the West Bank 100%, but we will come to a conclusion
That's a
on the
lot.
West Bank.
If I could ask, what is the disagreement?
Well, I don't want to do that. It'll be announced at an appropriate time. But he will do the right thing. I know that. I know him very well. He will do the right thing. Yes.
There is a growing fear of a confrontation between Israel and Turkey. How are you going to ease this tension given the fact that President Erdogan calls Mr. Netanyahu Hitler and compares Israel to the Nazis?
Well, I know President Erdogan very well. And as you all know, he's a very good friend of mine. And
Didn't he put people
I
in
believe
jail?
that, and I do respect him, and Bibi
I thought that was
respects
an
him.
asshole.
And they're not going to have a problem.
Okay.
They're not going to have a problem. I know him very
So there's
well.
not going to be any problems.
And
Well,
you've
that's good.
seen me do things with President Erdogan and Turkey that nobody else could have done. We're not going to have a problem. He's done a fantastic job. I'm with him all the way. I'm with Bibi all the way. Nothing's going to happen.
Okay, nothing's
Yes.
going to happen.
Are you concerned that Israel is not moving quickly enough to phase 2 of the peace plan?
Well, I'm not concerned about.
They're really
anything that
shitting on
Israel's
Israel.
doing. I'm concerned
That's
about what
crazy.
other people are doing or maybe aren't doing.
3 negative
But
questions.
I'm not concerned. They've lived up to the plan. They're strong. They're solid. And sometimes they don't understand when somebody violates something.
These questions, yeah.
You want to give them a second chance. Well, we'll give them a couple of second chances. But no, Israel's lived up to the plan.
Okay.
100%. Don't forget, we made the plan possible by taking out Iran.
I heard about that.
And speaking of Iran, I hope they're not trying to build up again, because if they are,
Here we go.
we're going to have no choice but very quickly
Blow it
to
again.
eradicate that buildup. So I hope Iran is not trying to build up, as I've been reading, that they're building up weapons.
Why do
and
they keep doing
other
this?
Things. And
You guys,
if they
what
are,
are they doing?
They're not using the sites that we obliterated, but they're using possibly different sites. We know exactly where they're going, what they're doing, and I hope they're not doing it because we don't want to waste the fuel on a B-2. It's a 37-hour trip both ways. I don't want to waste a lot of fuel. Okay?
President Trump, because your last remarks regarding the pardon request of Prime Minister Netanyahu, Herzog office told us that you have not talked after the official request of Prime Minister Netanyahu pardon. Can you clarify
That's my
to us,
president.
did you talk
Which
about
request
it?
are you talking about?
That's my
With,
guy.
The President Herzog, the Israeli President Herzog. Did you talk
Another
to him
classic.
directly?
Herzog?
Herzog. The Israeli
so
President
you're talking
Herzog.
about
Oh my
pardon.
God.
Oh, well, you got to say that. No, I think he's going to be in great shape. He's a wartime prime minister at the highest level. He's achieved
Don't
tremendous
waste my
success. And I'll say it, if you had 8 out of 10 prime ministers in his position right now, or before right now, maybe, you wouldn't have Israel any longer. Israel would not exist. I'd say two of them would, and 8 of them wouldn't. Those are not good odds.
Huh.
You needed a very special man to really carry through and
It's 1 out of
really
5?
help Israel
No,
through
it's
this
8 out of
horrible
10.
jam. These are major
Can't you listen, you
factions,
fucking retard?
and it started with our negotiation
Are
with
you retarded?
Iran. I think it probably started with Soleimani. That was really where you mentioned that today, which started with
They
Soleimani.
blew him up? Yeah.
Bad guy, doing bad things, hurting a lot of people, killing American soldiers and other soldiers. But it started right there, would probably be
Call him
the
a
starting
roach.
point. And then from that point forward, but you have a wartime prime minister at the highest level. There could be other wartime prime ministers, but they'd lose. He won. And I think the people of Israel appreciate it. I think a lot of the people in the world appreciate it, actually. And because of that victory, we were able to get peace in the Middle East.
Wow.
If you had a different kind of a personality,
Another
if
president.
you had a weak person or a stupid person, and there are plenty of both of them, you would not have had success, and you might not have Israel. And you report for Israel. I know you're very proud of it, and you do a great job. You might not have a job because there might not be an Israel right now if you had a different prime minister. That's a big statement, but To me, it's a very simple statement to make. I'm looking at Pete Hegseth, and he's sort of nodding. If they don't have a strong prime minister, Pete, you might not have Israel today. I think he'll go down in the record books. And, you know, I was a big help. I'll be honest with you, big help. Somebody said in the room, if you don't have Trump, you needed a proper combination of everything. And if you didn't have that combination, which they had, you would not have an existing Israel right now.
This is
and
really
the people of Israel
special.
know it.
I'll tell you that.
That's why they like me, and it's why they actually like him. He's got a little bit of a love-hate more than I do over there. But you know what? Even the haters have a lot of respect for him. There's a lot of jealousy about him. A lot of jealousy.
They're jealous?
Jealousy is a bad word. But I believe you would not have Israel right now, so it's a big deal. Yeah, please.
Bro, what is
Paul
this?
showed that as many as half of Gazans would be willing to leave the Gaza Strip if afforded the opportunity to do so. Back in February, you said that all Gazans would leave.
I heard that number today. Half of Gaza would leave.
Uh-huh.
I've always
Where
said
are they going to go?
I said if they were given the opportunity
Where do they
to
go?
live in a better climate, they would move. They're there because
better
they
not
sort
be
of have
coming
to be.
here.
I think it would be. I think it would be a great opportunity. But let's see if that opportunity presents itself. But we're helping the people of Gaza a lot. So is Israel.
Send to
by the way.
Germany? Okay.
So we'll see what happens. But I saw that it was a poll. It was actually more than
Somalia.
half the people would leave if they were given the opportunity.
I don't want them to go to
And I've
Minnesota.
been saying that for a long time.
What do
To
you
me, it
mean?
was common sense. So it's interesting.
Why wouldn't countries accept them?
Why wouldn't them?
Look, let's not talk
Because of
about
what-
it because
Because of what happened
we
in
don't
the
want
past.
the controversy. Right now, we're helping Gaza.
Remember that?
But if they were given the opportunity, I think even higher than that, the group that did the poll is usually, I
There's
call
a
them negative
situations.
pollsters. You have a lot of them. And yet this poll was, I think, very accurate, other than it would be
Learning
more than
centers?
half the
Yes.
people, if given the opportunity. But they haven't been given that opportunity. So we'll see what happens.
Point of understanding regarding Syria.
We do have an understanding regarding Syria.
There's an
Now,
understanding.
with Syria, you know, your new president, I respect him. He's a very strong guy, and that's what you need in Syria. You can't put
He's a strong
choir
guy.
boy. You can't put somebody that's a
choir
perfect
boy?
person. Everything's nice, no problems in life. You have the opposite there. He's a strong guy.
The guy used to be a leader of
You
ISIS.
get along with him great.
Had like photos of him holding like people's
I
heads.
can't ask for any more. He's been with us all the way.
Yeah,
We had
great
that
guy. Great
mishap
guy.
with ISIS, and he was with us all the way. He was fighting us. You know, he was fighting them. So I hope Israel. I'm sure that Israel and him will
The
get along.
mishap
I will
with ISIS?
try and make it so that they do get along. I think they will. Bibi, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, well,
It is
our
what it
interest
is.
is to have a peaceful border with Syria.
Mhm.
Our interest is to have, and we openly say it, we want to make sure that the border area right next to our border is safe. We don't have terrorists. We don't have attacks.
Yeah, terrorists
And we
are
also
bad.
want to secure our Druze friends. And by the way, I think
Who's Al Qaeda?
not only
Oh.
the Druze, but other minorities, especially the Christians, should be protected as well in Syria and throughout the Middle East and in Nigeria. In your efforts, we back completely
Nigeria, yeah.
because Christian communities are beleaguered around the world and especially in the Middle East,
Mhm.
but in parts of Africa too. And
yeah,
we
and-
stand for the same thing.
And don't forget, it was President Erdogan that helped very much get rid of a very bad
Mr. Turkey
ruler of Syria. That was President Erdogan.
This is Assad.
And he never wanted the credit for it, but he really gets a lot of credit. Bibi agrees with that. I agree with. I mean, I know it. And President Erdogan should get a lot of good credit for what he did. He got rid of some very bad people, and you know they've been wanting to do that for 1,000
hates that
years
guy?
with
Does-
different names, but for 1,000 years in Syria, President Erdogan did it, and we give him a lot of credit. I give him a lot of credit. But I think it's going to work out well between Syria and Israel.
Mr. President, about Lebanon.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
The Lebanese government, what we saw, is not meeting the terms of the ceasefire agreement. Has failed to disarm
another ceasefire
Hezbollah,
fuck up.
actually.
What a surprise.
In your view, should Israel strike the terrorist organization again?
Well, we're going to see about that.
We're
We'll
going to see
about it.
That's a yes.
The Lebanese government is at a little bit of a disadvantage, if you think of it, with Hezbollah. But Hezbollah has been behaving badly So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
How close are we to another operation of Israel in Iran? You said before the meeting with Netanyahu that you're in support of Israel.
We're going to bomb Iran
the
again?
missile project will take on, and also the nuclear weapon. But after the meeting, after what you know from the intelligence, how close are we to another war with Iran?
Well, I don't want to say that, but Iran may be behaving badly. It hasn't been confirmed, but if it's confirmed, look, they know the consequences. Consequences
will never
will be
the
very
same.
powerful. Maybe more powerful than the last time. Yeah. And Iran should have made a deal the last time. I gave them the option. I said, you can make a deal. Do it. I told them, do it. And they didn't believe me. Now they believe me.
It's going to be worse than
this
the
is
last
just what
time?
we hear. But usually,
Oh, my God.
where there's smoke, there's fire. Have you heard the expression?
What do you mean related to the nuclear capability?
Well, no, I'm hearing that they're not nuclear yet, but
They're
maybe
fucking
nuclear
around.
too. The sites were obliterated, but they're looking at other sites. That's what I've heard. They're
Do you have
looking.
intelligence
So it'll
about
take
it?
a long time. They're not going to go back to where they were, but they have other places they can go.
Uh-huh.
And if they're doing that, they're making a big mistake. Yeah, please. There's no reason for them to do it.
Mr. President, is the United States currently open to engaging in bilateral discussions with Tehran? We're hearing reports from numerous countries that there may be some discussions. Is that something you would support? Or
Yeah.
something
Yeah, of
that-
course.
I would.
You would
I
support
hope
that?
so,
I would,
yeah.
yes.
Right now. Thank you, sir.
I have been, by the way, before the war, I would support that. I said to him, baby, I said, let's negotiate. And they didn't believe what was going to happen would happen. Yes, ma'am.
Exercises basically
China.
to test encircling Taiwan. Can you explain to us what your knowledge is of that?
Taiwan. I heard from a toy that that's actually part of Chinese
Well, I have a
territory,
great
right?
relationship with President Xi, and he hasn't told me anything about it. I certainly
heard
have seen it, but he hasn't told me anything about it. And
Yes.
I don't
heard that
believe
too,
he's
yeah.
going to be doing it.
From Olabubu. Olabubu told me that.
No, nothing worries me. Nothing.
So if
Yeah.
you're if you're doing naval exercises,
trying to
and
debate
air
with him?
exercises-
I've been doing naval
Shut up,
exercises
bitch.
for
Shut the fuck up.
20 years in that area. Now people take it a little bit differently, but in fact, larger than
Shut
they're
up. Yeah,
doing
shut
right
up,
now.
Karen.
So we'll see. But
Get outta here.
they've been doing that for 20, 25 years. Yeah.
Disarm in that short amount of time that you're giving them.
Hamas
Can you tell us
doesn't
what the
disarm?
next steps would
It'll
be?
It'll be, what's it going to happen?
Horrible for them. Horrible. It's going to be really, really bad for them. And I don't want that to happen. But they made an agreement that they were going to disarm. And you couldn't blame Israel. By the way, we have other
Really
countries that will
bad.
come in and do it. They said, let us do it for you if they don't. Countries that were with them wanted the deal to be made, agreed that they would disarm, and now if they say they're going to disarm, that's fine. If they say they're not going to disarm, those same countries will go and wipe them out. They don't even need Israel. You know, we have many countries, 59 countries that are in agreement. This is a real peace in the Middle East.
Oh.
And Hamas is a small part of it, but it's still a part of it. But we have 59 countries that signed on, big countries, countries that are outside of the Middle East, as you know the Middle East.
Yeah.
They want to go in and wipe out Hamas. They don't want Israel.
They're
They don't need
terrorists.
Israel.
Yeah.
They want to do it because it's the right thing to do. Because
Bunch
they
of
were
fucking
for the deal
terrorists,
based
yeah.
on the fact that Hamas pledged, they swore
They
that they were going
said.
to disarm. Now, if they're not going to disarm, those same countries will wipe out Hamas.
We're going to blow their ass up.
PA should be involved in the day after in Gaza Strip, even in the near future? And the same question to Prime Minister Netanyahu. Do you see a real opportunity that the PA will be in Gaza?
Go ahead, Mimi.
I think President Trump put clearly the conditions of reform that he wants to see in the PA for them to be involved. And I
They're
think
giving
he
them
put
too
it
much
very
time to
clearly
flee?
What he wants to see, the kind of real reform.
They don't want to bomb them,
Not
that's
just,
why. It's pretty obvious why.
Real reforms. Stop pay to slay. Change the curriculum in your textbooks.
Pay
Open
to
up,
slay?
a different society and a different future. If they do it, well, let them. I think it was clear. He put
Pretty clear.
He put guidelines that were, by the way, in the Trump plan of 2020. and they were put then in the 20 points, and it's up to them.
Remember this, if we didn't do what we did to Iran, just to make the subject just slightly different, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. You wouldn't have a deal signed in the Middle East. You wouldn't have a deal. Because other Arab nations, which are great people, I know them very well, I know them, they're great people, they wouldn't be able to have agreed to peace in the Middle East, because you would have had
they don't
a
like
dark
Iran
cloud
either.
hanging over everything. It wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah, sure.
So Iran has been greatly reduced in power, prestige.
Yeah, I haven't heard a lot about Iran ever since he blew him up.
Trying to build up
That's
again.
true.
But we can't let them build up, because if they build up, there can't be peace in the Middle East. It was a mistake. You know, when they wiped out Iraq and Iran were about the same power. And they fought each other with different names for 1,000 years. And then our country came out and blew up one of those two countries, namely Iraq. And all of a sudden, Iran had the whole Middle East all to itself.
So we shouldn't have blown up Iraq so they could keep blowing up Iran?
That's not true anymore.
Say
it. All
Tell
right.
us something about your plan to expand the Abraham Accords. If you can tell us something about your plan to expand the Abraham Accords.
Is he extra orange
Well,
today?
the Abraham Accords are great. A great achievement.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Jared and everybody. I mean, it was
he's pretty
one
orange.
of the great achievements. They'll be expanded. Countries are already talking about expanding it, and they'll be expanded fairly quickly. Yeah, please.
Is it still on the table? The normalization.
Saudi Arabia is great. We have a great leader.
Yeah.
And
sure.
a friend of mine and a friend of a lot of people. Also an enemy of some people, but those people aren't doing so well. No, Saudi Arabia has been very good as far as I'm concerned. They've done everything that we can ask for.
Great.
Israel is on the
They're getting along great with Israel. They will. And at some point, they'll sign the Abraham Accords.
Wow.
So one of the big domestic tasks ahead of you is to pick a new chairman for the Fed.
Yeah.
You've said that you have one favorite.
Not
but
a friend of
you're
Israel?
Also doing interviews.
Still
so
do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll announce him at the right time. There's plenty of time.
Who's the guy on the left?
But in the meantime,
That's
we're
the
doing
president
numbers
of the
that
United
nobody's
States.
ever seen. We have $18 trillion coming in. We had a 4.3% GDP. They thought it was going to be 2%. And that's despite the Democrat shutdown. Had the shutdown not occurred, we would have had an extra 1.25. Think of that.
It says it on the podium, guys. Come on.
Also, despite the
You
fact
just
that we
read it.
have a fool at the Federal Reserve. I mean, Biden reappointed
just
him.
kick
It's
him
too
out?
bad. You would have thought he wouldn't have done that. But,
Tell him to get the fuck out of here.
He's an absolute fool who's building a new Federal Reserve, or he's doing a
Another
renovation of a building. Maybe he's up to $4.1 billion to do a renovation of a few very small buildings.
He's trying to get him to talk shit about
It's
it?
the highest price in the history of construction.
That's insane.
He's spending more money than any building has ever spent per square foot on the renovation.
Is that true?
As an example, I'm doing a magnificent, big, beautiful ballroom that the country has wanted, the White House has wanted for 150 years.
Wow.
It's a massive job, and it's a tiny fraction of that number. And we're under budget and ahead of schedule. Now, it's bigger than I told you. It's after realizing we're going to do the inauguration in that building. It's got all
for his third
bulletproof
inauguration?
glass. It's got all
That makes
drone,
sense.
They call it drone-free roof. So drones won't touch it. It's a big, beautiful, safe building.
Yeah, it's for a third one.
But it's it's a big project for a tiny fraction of that. We're under budget and ahead of schedule, and they've wanted it for 150 years. Think of it: the Federal Reserve building, 2 buildings there. They don't know what they're doing. They're way over budget. I mean, almost. This was built during the Biden administration. And I wrote by it the other day, and it's headed by the head of the Federal Reserve.
Trump's renovation is so much
Too
better than
late.
Fed renovation.
Too
That's
late,
what he's
pal.
saying. He can
Too late
renovate
because
way
he's
better
always
than the
too
Fed
late
can.
with
The Fed doesn't know what they're
interest rates,
doing.
except before the election, he was too early.
Yeah.
Because that would have helped. That was supposed to help get her elected. It had no impact. We won all 7 swing states.
I've heard about that.
But no.
The last time you talked about it.
We're thinking about bringing a
Yesterday.
suit against Powell for incompetence.
What?
Because think of it. These are
Wait, what?
outstanding buildings. These are small buildings. He's at $4 billion more. It's going to end up costing more
He's
than
still
$4
mad
billion.
about this.
$4 billion. It's the highest price.
Wait, we're going
of
to sue this?
construction. Again, Democrats. Highest price of construction per square foot in the history of the world. There's never been. Gorgeous monuments are built.
Bro.
For
W
a much
crash
smaller
out?
price.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about bringing a gross incompetence, what's called gross incompetence.
I like that.
lawsuit.
Yeah.
It's gross incompetence against
Do that more.
And it was his baby. And
it
the
got
guy's
aborted.
just incompetent. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. He's just a very incompetent man. But we're going to probably bring a lawsuit against him. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Bibi, congratulations.
He just was, we're going to sue him.
January sometime.
And will you ask Jay Powell to resign?
Well, he should resign.
Entirely?
You know, be a favor to the nation. But he's come close. I mean, we're getting pretty close. I would fire him. I'd love to fire him, but we're so close. You know, maybe it. But maybe I still might.
Will you sell F-35 to the Turkey?
Say it.
Are you going to approve a selling of F-35 to the Turkey?
We're thinking about it very seriously.
And what is
What
your,
prevented
reaction to this?
They'll never use it on it.
Jesus. Shut the fuck up. So he's got a week? Yeah, I guess so. So basically, he said he didn't want to waste the fuel to fly over to Iran and blow them up again. All right. Well, I don't know what anybody expected. I think we could have pretty much predicted that to be exactly what he would have said. Yep, that's about right. And so I would rate this one. This one was pretty good. It was definitely W rant at the end about the construction thing and about how much better he is at construction than the guy from the Federal Reserve. The guy's a fucking moron, obviously. Doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And so, and now we're gonna bring a charge against him. And so Iran War Part 2, I'm pretty sure it's been more than 2 parts, okay? Easily a 6 or 7. Yeah, I think this has been like a 6 or a 7, somewhere around there, right? Yeah, and I'd say it was a decent event. Nothing too crazy, but it was pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, dementia kicking in. I don't know if it was really dementia. He seemed pretty tired and out of breath at the beginning, but besides that, it just seemed like pretty much business as fucking usual. The guy's almost 80 fucking years old. I mean, what are you gonna say?